What is a philosophy? Philosophy is not a science nor a body of established knowledge. It is rather a method, a way of thinking that consists in asking questions, examining assumptions, and turning even the most familiar things into problems. Philosophy doesn't simply seek answers, it also questions its own answers, constantly reopening what might otherwise seem settled. As its core, philosophy is the activity of problematization. It asks not only what something is, but why it is so, how we know it, and whether it could be otherwise. For this reason, philosophy is always a form of meta reasoning. It reflects on our ways of thinking, speaking, knowing, and acting. Depending on the domain under examination, philosophy takes on different specializations. When it reflects on meaning and communication, it becomes the philosophy of language. When it examines right and wrong, it becomes moral philosophy or ethics. When it reflects on scientific knowledge, it becomes a philosophy of science. When it studies consciousness and thought, it becomes of mind. When it investigates historical understandings, it becomes a philosophy of history. When it reflects on beauty and art, it becomes aesthetics. The philosophical answers are free from traditions. Philosophy is never orthodox. Even when a philosopher follows a tradition, is always free and reflective, not imposed by authority. Second, philosophical answers are rational and argumentative. They are supported by reasons rather than by myth, revelation, or custom. This rational structure allows philosophical ideas to be understood, discussed, and criticized across time and space long after the historical context in which they were formulated has disappeared. For the sake of historical accuracy, it is important to note that philosophy didn't rise in mainland Greece. It developed in the colonies for two main reasons. First, their political life was less rigid, and public discussion was therefore more flexible and experimental. Second, these colonies were in direct contact with other cultures. So, exchangings, meetings with other cultures are really good for thinking. Then, another thing, the last one, I promise. It is not a coincidence that philosophy arose in the same cultural context in which mathematics and geometry were also developing. These disciplines sought not to counter measures by fingers, but to demonstrate. The same was for philosophy that moved beyond opinion, aiming at arguments that can justify themselves to any rational mind.